Hi guys, welcome to West End Stage's 5-minute masterclass. My name's Ellena Vincent and my masterclass is going to be on audition prep. So the first thing I'm going to say is song preparation. Now, whether you're auditioning for drama school, for a job, even for a part in your school or college play, the most important thing in my mind is the preparation of your songs. Now, I think when you're being asked to bring your own song in those situations, the key thing is to know that song inside out, back to front, standing on your head. You need to be able to do that song in your sleep. Because auditions are very high pressured situations. It's quite unnatural. You're going into a room in front of 2, 3, sometimes more people, and it is nerve-wracking. But if you go in and you know that material as best you can, then you're already putting yourself in a position to do the best job you can and present yourself in the best way. Song choices for auditions. Now, the one thing I would say that is really, really important with whatever song choice you make is it has to show your voice off in the best possible light. So you need to identify the strengths of your voice and pick songs that will reflect that. What can also really help is if you put together what we call a repertoire folder, a song repertoire folder, which is a collection of songs that you know really well, like I said earlier, that you can pick and choose from depending on what the audition requires of you. I found through a lot of experience that if you have a certain amount of songs in your rep folder, it can save a lot of panic when a brief comes through for an audition and you're like, oh gosh, I haven't got that in my folder, I need to learn it in 24 hours. But if you have a certain amount of songs that cover a broad spectrum of genres, then hopefully it means that you can never be in that position. So for me, I have 6 genres of songs, if you like, that I'll always have. Actually 3 genres it covers, and then 2 types of song for each genre. So I will have a pop song in my rep, 2 pop songs. I'll have a contemporary musical theatre, 2 of those, and a legit musical theatre, which tends to be sort of pre-1970s, we'd say, for legit. And then in each of those categories, I would have a ballad and an up-tempo for both. So I'm going to talk quickly about monologues. With musical theatre auditions, you don't tend to be asked to bring in your own monologues very often. It's usually scenes from the show and things like that. But my quick advice for monologues, if you are asked, what really helps is if you have read the play that it's from, because it'll help you to give context of the monologue. And also it tends to be a lot of the best monologues are taken from plays rather than just an individual standalone thing, I've found. Also to choose something that is very close to your age range. That is one big thing. I remember one of my very first auditions, I took in a monologue that turns out to be an 8-year-old woman, and at the time I was 21 and it just didn't work. So yes, if you can pick something that is close to your age range, and that means you can be as truthful as possible with the material, and you can really bring some of yourself to the role as well. So yes, definitely stick to your age range. And now with the actual audition. So you've got your audition through, you've got your songs, you've prepared, you know them back to front, you've got maybe your monologue or your scenes that you have been sent, you know those back to front. And that's why it's so important to know your material as best you can, because like I said earlier, auditions are nerve-wracking, and if you've got the material in your head and you know you can nail it, that's one less thing to worry about. And for me, I have moments, but just before going into an audition, I like to have a moment of stillness, a deep breath, and then go into the room. And it helps me feel calm and collected. Now, the one thing to remember with going into an audition room, whatever the scenario is that no one is like you. No one can bring into a room what you can, because you're unique. And I know myself, sometimes it might not feel like that, but it's the truth. No one can do what you can do because no one is you apart from you. And it's so important to remember. The best advice I was ever given is to bring as much as your personality to a room as you can. Because with casting directors or anyone, yes, they're looking at what you can do with the material, what you can do with your own material. But they want to work with you and they want you to be someone that's great to work with. And how best to put that across, and by bringing your personality to the room and showing them what you'd be like to have in a rehearsal room, to have in their show. I think that's really important and something that people can forget. You can get very caught up in the material, but I think it's very important to remember that your personality is as much as who you are as your voice. So that's all for now, guys. I hope those of you watching found that helpful. It's a lot to fit in 5 minutes. But yes, I hope there's a few nuggets in there to help you with auditions going forward. And for those of you that do have auditions coming up, good luck.